Welcome to your stretch video today. If you have a yoga block and you want to sit on it to do butterfly pose, it will prop you up a little bit more and give you a little bit more space through your low back. Otherwise, just sit down onto your mat, feet together, and start to breathe into this pose. Big inhale, and then exhale, but keeping the chest nice and open and back flat. If this isn't for your knees or hips, bring your feet out wide and breathe in this pose. We're going to move on to our hands and knees. Sit back, child's pose. And now take your palms together and bring them behind the head. Bring your hands back onto the mat and bring your hip bones from side to side, stretching up through the low back. Cat-cow, moving the spine into flexion and extension, round, and then come down. Dig your toes in, push back, downward facing dog. If that's not available for you, on your wrist, you can always go down to the elbows and push back. Paddling the heels up and down. And come back down, child's pose, sit back, relax. Walk your hands over to the right, stretch out through the whole left side of the body. Walk your hands over to the left, stretch up the whole right side of the body. Come back to center, push back, downward facing dog. And then walk forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Arms come all the way up. Repeat that one more time. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Arms come all the way back up. Take a quarter turn. Feet out nice and wide. Start to reach over from side to side at your own pace. For 3, 2, 1. Straighten out your right foot, pivot your left foot in, bend your right knee quite a bit, and go into warrior 2. Right elbow, right quad, bring the left arm over the head. Come back up to warrior 2. Flip your front palm, exalt your warrior. Straighten your right leg, straighten your left leg, right hand, right shin bone, or right hand, right hip bone into triangle pose. This is where the block could come in really handy. If you do have one, you can support your triangle pose by holding it like so, not holding it, but placing it on the ground like this, or like this, wherever your flexibility takes you to. And then come back up, warrior 2 one more time, maybe going a little deeper into this one here. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, come back down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come back down. Hands on your hip bones, straighten your right leg, pivot your right toes in, reach your arms out. Exhale, forward fold. Again, this is where the yoga block could come in handy as well. And then rolling up. Taking your left foot straight forward, right foot slightly rotated in, coming into warrior two. Stretching out that right hip, drawing in through the core. Left elbow, left quad, sweep the right arm over the head. And then we don't want to be rounding forward, so open up that right arm. Draw that right shoulder blade down. Come back up to warrior two. Flip your left palm. Lean back, exalted warrior. Come back to warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Take your left hand, left shin bone, or left hand on the block. Bring the right arm up. Triangle pose. Come back up to warrior two. Then inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, come back down. And one more time, inhale, come up. Exhale, come back down. Hands on your hip bones, straighten your left leg, pivot your left toes. Reach out far as you can, open the chest, and exhale to forward fold using your block. If you can place your elbows on the block. Trying to take your left hand to the outside of that right calf and bring the right arm up. Other side, right hand on the outside of that left calf, left arm faces to the left side or back, what's comfortable for your shoulder. And then back to center. Inhale, halfway lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Rolling up. And taking your feet side by side. So you're going to inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale to fold back down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Walk your hands over to the right. Trying to keep the hip bones square forward. Walk your hands over to the left. Come back to center. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Sitting down onto your mat. And you're going to lie down. And we're going to move the knees from side to side. Right foot on left knee, pull the left leg in. And rest. Windshield wiper your knees again from side to side. And left foot on right knee, draw the right leg in, figure four. Now you can repeat that again. So you can rest now. You can go back into the other side, figure four, or you can come up and you can go into your glute stretch this way, where I rest my right hip onto the mat. I'm going to bend my left knee slightly, and I'm going to come forward. I may even bring my block into the mix and place my elbow on there for support. One elbow, one hand on the ground. Now the thing is here, I don't want to be twisting, so that's why the block may come in really handy. Or if you can, put both elbows on the ground, just make sure we're not lopsided. So this is going to give me a little bit of more length through my back versus leaning to the right. And as I stretch out through my right hip, I want to be consciously thinking about lengthening through my spine and not rounding in this pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Gonna really open up that right hip, stretching out through the right glute. And then we'll switch to the other side. If anybody is in this pose and wants to transition into downward facing dog, maybe cycling through a half vinyasa into chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. And you're now either switching to the other side, figure four, or coming in to the other side on this pose. Again, I'm going to use my block a little tighter through the left side, so I definitely will use the block so I'm not leaning all the way over to my left. And I'm going to try to get into a nice, comfortable, relaxed position. If you had 2 blocks, that would most likely be ideal. And then rolling up slowly, basically starting ending where we started. You can sit up nice and tall on your block or just the mat. Feet out wide. Then we're gonna take a deep breath in and exhale, forward fold. Reaching over to the left with my right arm. Reaching over to the right, left arm comes up. One more time each side. Back to center, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Rolling up. Lying onto your back. If you have a block, simply place it underneath your low back. Otherwise, just stay on your back where you are. And you'll tuck your knees in towards your chest bone. And if you have that block, you can massage your low back, just like so. If you have 2 blocks, put them side by side. Not to make it higher, but longer. Pulling your right knee in, let your left leg lengthen. This should be opening up nicely through the left hip flexor. Other side. And then back to that low back massage, or even if you don't have the block, you're just moving your knees over from side to side. And we'll end today's practice stretch sequence with a spine twist. So remove the block if you have it underneath your back, tuck your knees in, cross the knees over to the left side or the right. If you want to add more length, lengthen out that top leg, grab the big toe with peace fingers. Use your stretch strap, yoga strap. Last pose, tuck the knees in, give a little squeeze. Cross the legs over to the other side. Arms come out, letter T, and then if you want to or can, lengthen out that top leg, hanging onto the toe with your peace fingers of the right hand. Otherwise, we're here. And maybe even 2, if you're feeling like you need a bit more support, you could place that block between your knees or underneath the right knee. Coming back to center. Lengthen your legs, lengthen your arms, take a deep breath in. And exhale. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you in another session.